because it's my permanent job. Um, anyway, one of the people at work tonight didn't show up. Illness and all that. Where have you vacuumed so far? That's where I wanted to end.
Everywhere.
Woohoo! Anyway, the folks who work here are pleasant as always. Um, they want to be open 24 hours, but life happens. Sometimes it's not easy to make $1. Anyway, I'm going to pack my stuff up because they are closing early. Life happens when you're busy making plans. And of course, just because you make an effort at something or plan on making an effort at something doesn't mean that it's going to happen. There are a lot of things in life that are hurry up and wait on other people. And there's a lot of stuff that's time sensitive. You can't just hurry up and wait. But depending on the title that people give you, you might have to wait a very long time. As far as since they're closing early, I will be going over to park across the street until at least Starbucks is open. I work on the projects I've been working on. They're coming out pretty cool. Having a whole bunch of popsicle sticks to work with allows me to make a lot of things. Some of this stuff is going to be a little bit complicated just because of the pulley system that's going to need to put in place, but that's just on little models. I don't actually plan on actually building a large ship like this, just for aesthetics, just for trying to keep my head straight. Maybe it won't make the world a better place in any way, shape, or form, but it's art, and I think that art makes the world better. Gotta grab some sugar for my coffee. Myself and Mike's gonna have a little bit of a short conversation tonight. He's parked next to me, so if you have to go out and get some tools, he's doing some work here. And yeah, it's nice when somebody keeps being informed. It's nice when somebody lets you know what's going on. With them letting you know they're closing early. And also, one of the things that he said that, he feels bad for that lady, and I actually feel bad for her too. Because some people are just miserable, and when they're miserable, they take it out on whoever they can take it out on. People who are hurt people. So whatever pain it is that she got that's resulting in her being that way, it's not my fault, but it is something that I have to do. Apparently everybody else who works here likes me. Some of them are autistic. Some of them have family that's autistic. Some of them are disabled or different in other ways. We're all people. The lady who didn't show up tonight, she it ain't my business. I know that a lot of the person I got a problem with, a lot of people here have a problem with, and that's maybe she's got the flu, maybe she's got COVID, maybe she's got some other bug. Maybe maybe just need the day off and they need it to happen. Maybe the kids weren't what to wear in the hair. You never know. A lot of times you just get worn out. You plan on grandiose things, something else. Anyway, those of you who care about my projects, this concept here is actually going to be used for one of the towers once I get the core system in place. Just really cool effect, actually. Every other one of these is going to have a tab attached to it, comes out, and it'll pop up. It'll have a piece of that fishing thread attached to it. It'll actually unfold it and wrap it up into a circle. And that way I'll have little towers on the side. Of course, it won't be like this. I want to make it so that they'll extend and get taller and get bigger, just like the rest of it. Like I said, I made a template for this. For a different one, of course. Patterned it out. And the folding technology I used as well. So it'll fold out. This is two of those put together. And then this is what it looks like extended. It's closed up. That's extended. The two ships I was really looking at the most when I was making this, or designing it in my head, I should say, is, also it'll fold up when it's extended like this. Sorry. My bad. I did that wrong. There we go. Sorry about that. I guess there's one little part, but I gotta change the tab. The reason for that is because the tabs need to be in between each other and open. Otherwise, they run into each other. So if I extend it, then I can close it up, extend it, or should be able to. No, it's right there. I had it so that it goes over this other piece. All stuff to test out, right? Things to learn, things to learn. There we go. All right. And of course, there's a few minor modifications that I did wrong. So there's some spaces here that are bigger than they should be. But I got to make a bunch more of these. That way, it kind of looks like the Flying Dutchman. It's a little tore up and a little like it's ragged and jagged and been there a while. But it's not all torn up like the Silent Mary. So we'll see how it turns out when I get finished. I got to remember to extend it or close it up when it's open, or slide it open or close it open, because otherwise it might not line up properly. I can actually repair that by putting one spacer in there, but that'll make it so that it will open up one less square on my little page here. Anyway, look at this Silent Mary thing all hacked away. It sure doesn't scare any children. The whole model will probably be about 2.5 to 3 foot long, probably about a foot tall for the body of it. It's a little bit bigger scale than I originally anticipated, but I ended up with a lot of popsicle sticks. So there's that. We'll extend that one more time. Flying Dutchman, Silent Mary. Flying Dutchman, Silent Mary. Flying Dutchman, Silent Mary. Alright, I'm done doing it. And then, of course, we got some stuff to cover different parts of it. But this right here is kind of designed after the Kufu ship. One thing I was thinking about doing is making about 5 or 6 of these, taking 2 of these here, attaching a little piece in the middle and tying it off. And that way what I can do is I can make it so that I can use those as a connector piece. I'll just try to hold it together with my fingers while I extend it. Anyway, with these fully extended, they'll hold it from going back and forth, and then they're connected here to each other, so that prevents them from going up and down. And what that'll do is that'll help to maintain rigidity throughout the craft. It'll also make it so that I can stack up a whole bunch of these. Although looking at that, it does kind of look like maybe one of those stylized aliens to go on your face from the alien movies. Alright. Obviously, with people not showing up, they're not able to stay open all night. They're only able to stay open as long as they have employees who are able to make it. I can understand that. I'm not going to hate them for it. The fact that I gotta go find a place to park for my own safety because there's one person who doesn't like me, and it's always how it goes, isn't it? Just that one person. One person can screw up the whole thing for everybody. But that's not going to make it so that I'm a mean, horrible person to the folks who work here. See, one thing that I've been noticing from many of these feminists that are, well, many used to be friends of mine, I should say. They were lesbians and man-haters, and many of the things that they said or did that they thought was okay for them are things that they complained to men do. The men are horrible for doing these things. They're going to assign these things to men. And then when they come down to Pearl Street and want to throw a tantrum at somebody, they pick a homeless man. But all of us, the people who hurt us, have names. Their names aren't men. Their names aren't women. Their names aren't white or black. A lot of the man-hating lesbians that I know, they're dating women that they're very angry with. They're very angry or very hurt or very sad because of a situation with another woman. And when they get angry, there's somebody who's going to pay for it. They don't want to lose their relationship, or they might be dependent on that relationship for the roof over their head. It's a lot easier just to go take it out on a hobo, isn't it? Yeah. You get your frustrations out, and then you go back to your life. The folks who work here have been extremely cool to me, like I said. And I am grateful for everything that they do for me and have done for me. And during the holidays, when that lady came from another place to help us out, make sure that we were fed, make sure that they were able to stay open 24 hours, I was real glad that lady showed up too. I got to see her the other night as well and to tell her thank you. With all the people who knew that I was good to, knew me as a loving person, all the things that they wanted to tell me are things that they should have told the public. You know what the public was told? What my predators wanted to say, and that's it. My friends didn't even try to speak up about what they knew. And then later on wanted to play stupid. Did I come to you for help? That's the easiest question for them to answer. Did I come to you for help? Yes or no? Why didn't you help? Why didn't you help when I was assaulted? Why didn't you help when I was beaten up? Why didn't you help when people were threatening to kill me and my family? This ain't on me, this is on you. I take responsibility for my actions. And when I do things out of necessity, they are necessary. When it comes to physical harm, I have time and again put myself in harm's way for the safety and protection of others. As a kid, I needed somebody like me to protect me. And as an adult, well, somebody needs to be that person, even if it's only me. I'm tired of people pretending to be the good guy until they get what they want. I give credit where it's due. When people do good things for me, I say they did good things. When they did nice things for me, I say they did nice things. When people do terrible things to me, I say they did terrible things. But just because somebody does something terrible to me doesn't mean I forget everything good they ever did. That doesn't mean that I forget the times where I was sick or lonely and that they actually came through for me. I don't forget those things. How could anybody forget those things? Even if those people are angry with me.
Huh? Yes. You're just now figuring that out?
That is a scary position to be in. You don't have a spotter or a harness. All I can say is if you have to do a backflip off of that, you better land it. Alright. Boat. All packed up in a book. Isn't that cool? That's right, it's a pop-up boat and a pop-up book. This pops down into a flat piece too. Anyway, there's a lot to get done. Being called a mentally ill person, though, that means that you have to have somebody in your corner. No matter what happens, you have to have somebody there with you. No matter where you go, what appointments you go to. If you don't have someone go with you, there's nothing to stop people from riding the clock. When you need help, And you need to turn in your predators and the people that you're sent to are mental health workers who try to tell you to go to the cops who had sent you to mental health workers when you went to them when you were assaulted. I mean, seriously, if someone is assaulted, it's the cop's job. That's who needs to fucking deal with it. Them getting to pawn it off on mental health, it's fucking bullshit. Even if somebody is schizophrenic, which is what they tried to insinuate about me to prevent me from turning in my predators, even if they are schizophrenic, if they're being abused, a schizophrenic person is an at-risk adult. You need to do your job. Oh, they just happen to not be the right gender for you to actually care? Well, tough cookies. It's still your job. Oh, the person who's victimizing him happens to be a pretty female who's on drugs? Well, you still have to do your job. Except they don't, because they're not held accountable. I will absolutely take an ass whooping, even for complete strangers. If something goes down, I'm gonna pull out my camera and do my best to record it. But in addition to that, I'm gonna get loud and make sure that there's a mention and a notice. On at least 6 different occasions here in Tillamook, I was able to stop crimes in progress by yelling and recording at least 6 times. Now then there's the fact that this is what I'm told legally that I'm supposed to do. When I have to depend on people who won't record anything and insist on making calls for me, without me, important calls, and all they have permission to do is to call these people up and set up an appointment, because, like, for example, with Megan Messicatis, she wasn't bothering to look at evidence or find out what was going on. She didn't care. For months, it was just an argument. She wouldn't look. But this is the person that the cops, who I was trying to turn in, who I'm told by the people I'm supposed to turn them into, which is Nebraska State Patrol. Nebraska State Patrol wants to tell me I need to turn it into Scott DaCosta and his department. So I have to turn in Scott DaCosta to Scott DaCosta. That is a conflict of interest, and it's against the law for the Nebraska State Patrol to force a victim to go to their predators to turn in anything.
Strip it out more, and then we won't be able to shut it off. Whoever did that, don't do that. I just turned it all the way on. Turn it far way on. All the way, yeah.
There's a lot of people who thought the help that I needed was advice. It's rarely advice. That's one thing that I learned in all the years that I helped people, is that they know their lives better than I do. They know what's going on in their life better than I do. So they know what help they need better than I do. Either I care about them enough to help them how they need, or I don't. If I make the excuse of saying that I can't help them how they need, well, that depends. It really does. Most of the time, I am able to help them how they need. It's whether or not I want to. With all of them, the things that they need are so much more complicated than what I need. I need their voice. They need me to spend lots of money and go travel to where they are, to be physically present to help them in a way that they weren't willing to physically help me in person when I was there. Before I was harmed to the point that I couldn't go back. And I eventually could go back because people spoke up. But they're in positions where they need me to speak up and they need me to actually be there to watch watch their house, watch the kids, watch whatever it is they need me to watch. And I don't get to do that.
Right.
Tell them no.
Well,
Oh, wait, never
I'll
mind.
let you do the go.
I think it's EMT, never mind.
No means no.
There goes.
Oh my God, Dallas.
Evening, Dallas.
How's it going?
Pretty all right. How was your Christmas?
It was alright.
Did them things blow up pretty decent?
What blow up?
The what's that stuff called? The thermo stuff that you hit it with a high-powered rifle and it explodes.
Oh, the camera?
Tannerite, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I blew it up on Christmas actually.
Very cool.
I put some like green powder in it, made it glow green. It's cool.
Oh, so I guess you were literally the only person I got a Christmas present for this year. I wasn't sure if Tannerite was the best choice, but I wanted to buy it on video and show how easy it was to buy explosives and to give them away.
Perfect.
Right? All right, well, I'll be back. They're almost closed, so I got to ditch you.
Alright.
Good to see you, Dallas. Holy dear God. Oh my God, it's like someone took a air blower and blew chilly air right through a fucking cow's colon right on this town. Oh my God, that is putrid. Don't get me wrong, I've smelled worse things, but this town here just keeps reinventing the stink. Like, sure, it's cow shit, but then next week it's going to be a different fermentive stink. Ugh. Ugh. All right. Anyway, I'll have to get my stuff all out of here by midnight. It closes at 11, but they don't give me any problems with getting stuck here a little extra. Yeah, I got 20 whole minutes now where I can get all the rest of my stuff packed up, so I'm gonna enjoy me part of a tobacco. Fuck. Oh, maybe if I pretend my back doesn't hurt. Anyway, one of the ladies that didn't show up tonight, she explained that she can't take all of the overnight shifts to Mickey. She explained that she couldn't do it. That she doesn't make enough money to make it worthwhile. She needs better hours. But when somebody's on a power trip and you tell them, hey, I can't handle this, and then they make sure that you have exclusively that, that's fucked up. They're not respecting you or respecting your boundaries. And for somebody who's running themselves ragged to try to help get this place so that it can be open 24 hours again, she got to get a break too, you know? Now, some of the stuff that Mike was telling me tonight and some of his background is useful and important to know. And if we had everybody who knows what he knows speaking up, it would make a lot of difference. Some of the people who worked at Clearview who spoke up about what Clearview was doing were people who took part in doing those exact same things to me. When I was sent to that place, they already knew that Tibor Hade had been killed by the staff there, and that the staff were trying to cover it up. And then I was sent there for trying to turn in Waylon Lolotai, and what happened? Because I wasn't listened to, he got to assault Michelle Rodriguez and Kelly Clark and Zayd Atkinson and who else? Sammy Leon Lawrence IV. No, albeit he did pull a shotgun on Zayd Atkinson. He got his gun taken away for improper use of his firearm, but they still let him be a cop in Boulder. That's the thing, is that they're not attracting good people to the police force. They're attracting thugs. Do you really want thugs policing your streets? Do you really want people, you say, oh, well, it takes a criminal to catch a criminal. Well, what about somebody who isn't a criminal? What about, would they be allowed to treat a victim like that when the victim goes in to get help? When the victim goes in to say, hey, some druggies are doing horrible shit to me. Oh, those druggies are girls. Oh, well, you should be fine. No, those girls are distributors for one of the major drug dealers in Boulder fucking County. What the hell are you thinking? Natalie and Alicia Bollinger sold drugs for their dad. Todd Ryan Case, one of the friends I went to after Natalie was killed, was distributing Ted Bollinger's drugs. Jesus, fuck. Small goddamn world. Something got to be done about this shit. Fuck that. I have cigarettes. Why the fuck am I hitting off a tobacco pipe? That's stupid. Anyway, my 20 minutes is probably not up, but I want to get my stuff packed up and ready. Oh my god, got a fufu drink?
Yes.
It looks delicious. Yeah, don't tell anybody I said something so unmanly about something that looks so delicious.
I won't.
Alright. I have to pay my bill.
Okay, meet you right up front.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm gonna go ahead and snag some of this stuff here.
You're allowed.
Do you want to take the rest of the coffee?
No, I'm good.
Okay. Yeah, I'll float.
No, I just want to get out of here in a decent amount of time. That way you guys can get out of here in a decent amount of time. I figure as long as you're good to me, I ought to be good to you. By the way.
Oh, because I dumped it.
Okay. This.
Okay.
You gotta get up right
Right
next to it. But, and green on, red on, and I'm gonna shut the, both of them, it works on the same road.
Okay.
Go ahead. Excuse me, John? I was gonna say, between the situation with Molly and the situation with Robert Farnsworth, I can't even go to the church feeds anymore.
Really?
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, I was able to get my disability money coming back in, but it's all going into my vehicle and staying between this parking lot and the one across the street.
Yeah, I see you parked. I never stopped. I'm constantly working now.
Yeah, I noticed that. I see you driving by, but you're always just driving by.
Yeah, I drive a little white Toyota now.
I didn't see that. Did
How's
you
the
sell your
Canopy?
truck? Somebody else driving yours?
I just bought that
Okay.
2 weeks ago, I think. But yeah, I drive my truck sometimes. But usually it's that little white Toyota.
Is that a pickup?
Yeah. Cute, isn't it?
It is cute. Looks like a Matchbox car. All right. Well, I'm out of here. It's good to see you, Dallas.
Good to see you too, man. Play safe.
I'm trying to. I'm still prettier than you are. Oh, did I get it broken? No, but it's still working. All right, sit down. Yeah, I can't dine and dash. They'll lock me up for that. I said, of course I came back. I'm not gonna dine and dash. They'll lock you up for that. You were so lucky that we were so close to closing because I seen what them boys is drinking and I thought to myself, I'll hold me palm.
Do you want one? I can make one real quick.
How much are they?
$5.99.
It's only an arm.
Yeah. Not
All
quite
right.
the leg though.
God, you people and your sense of humor. It's almost like
Almost uncanny.
it's like walking out of the real world where everybody is looking for some reason to be offended.
Oh yeah.
You know what I think when somebody says
That's
they're
the morning
offended?
shift.
I think of when they say they're offended, I think of them with their feet up in the air.
Oh goodness.
Offended.
Do you want the shake?
Sure, somebody else paid for it anyway.
Okay.
I got this year $40 Denny's card that I swear to dog I didn't pay for.
I know about that. That's awesome. You want the Oreo one? Or you want a different flavor?
Oreo? Yeah, I'll try it.
Okay. All right. So it's gonna be $11.98 for you.
Oh my God, you want me to give you monies?
Be on that. All right. I'm gonna go make that real quick.
Yes, ma'am. No, I'm not giving a tip. I only do that in cash. Seriously, you know what happens if you tip them on a credit card?
I never do the tipping. I get the whole thing. I get the whole thing too.
Oh my God, you preverts. I only call you preverts because I know you're not about it ahead of time.
Yeah. Yes.
Did I do that wrong? 1198 captured transaction of profit. Oh my God, are you laughing at my jokes? Don't do that, it only encourages me. If you tip them on a credit card, then it actually counts against their wages. Whereas if you tip them in cash, it doesn't. All right, can you name all these planes?
No.
All right. This is the P-51D Mustang. This is the F-4U Corsair. This is the P-38 Lightning, and this is the Hellcat, and that one right there is the Avenger. No. That's not the Avenger, that's the Dauntless. I didn't see the dive flaps there. They look very similar. Alright, I'm done.
Can you name all of them?
Let's see, that looks like a circular floor rug on the left. The one in the middle looks like a Jillian cymbal off of a fancy drum set. And the one on the right looks like
A horn.
possibly a record. They're all three the same hat. They're just done with different fabrics.
And then that looks like Pacific City.
Yes.
That's Pacific City.
Oh, that place right there?
It's Rwanda.
Why did those say Pioneer Museum?
Because they came out of the Pioneer Museum.
Oh, here you go.
Yes, Mercy do too. Oh, I have a tip for you.
Oh, thank you very much.
Never push a cow from behind.
Oh,
It's a great tip.
That's a great tip.
Also, you'll probably have, this is the first tip my older brother gave me when I moved to Nebraska. He says you'll probably have a crush on Sammy Hawkins. You got two brothers, Little Hawkins and Big Hawkins, Little Hawkins Cliff. Now hold on a second, I have one to give you as well. Learn not to talk so much trash. I grew up in the system. I don't feel loved without my daily dose of abuse. So beat me, spank me, and call me Susan.
Okay.
I'm just kidding. I'm a Sally, silly.
This guy's got jokes for days.
Oh my God, I found it. I got these jokes. See, yeah, don't laugh at my jokes. It only encourages me. Next thing you know, I'll be back tomorrow for round 3.
Oh, goodness.
Why does the duck have feathers?
Why?
Feathers back back.
Knock knock.
Who's that?
Amos.
Amos? Amos
A mosquito bit me. Knock knock.
who? Who's there?
Andy.
Andy.
Andy bit me again. Right.
I should have a list of my dad jokes right here. That way I don't forget them. Oh, sorry. Wrong person here. All right.
won that fair.
Oh my God, I don't mind.
2, 4, 6, 8, 1, 2, 4, 5, 6.
Thank you.
Of course. You have a great night.
That was off $5. And I should have cashed out $100 more to that. No.
But hey, a little wiggle room, a little playroom.
Right.
Have a good night. Thank you very much.
Yes, ma'am. Do I have to, Dallas? All right, I'm gonna try. But if I don't have a good night, I'm calling you up and asking for some cuddle time with your dog. Is Coors out there?
Yeah, she's in the back. Take it.
Can I go?
Say hi.
Thank you. Where's this Toyota? Coors! Coors, are you in there? Hey girl, stop. One moment. No, you can't have that, but just one moment. Oh, hey girl. How you doing? How you doing? Yeah, that's a good girl. That's a good girl. That's a good girl. Thank you. Thank you for the gift, dude. Thank you. Thank you for it. Cool. I gotta close it back up now, though, because I gotta get back to my vehicle and get moved. They close at midnight. All right. Hey, I forgot something in there. It's
Oh, I'm
a big
sorry.
old permit. No,
I'm sorry. I just had to mess with you a little bit.
I knew you were gonna. As soon as I saw that ugly pink thing on my table from out the window, I was like, Mike's gonna mess with me.
Absolutely.
Look, your cup on the table.
Yeah, I told you.
It's a good thing I can tell the difference between human dookie and cow dookie, or I think you have a sewer problem. It's difficult to blame it on the bathroom when the washroom is coming from that door.
I know. Getting it out from the back too.
What the odoriferousness?
Well, I'm used to stinking out back.
That's what's left over when they take the milk out of grass.
Yummy.
Yeah, I can tell this is a cow town because I go outside and all I smell is dairy air.
Yep.
Milk.
Thanks for the milkshakes.
Even the cows are lactose intolerant.
Right?
Thank you, Dad. Good night, Mike. Good night. You, sir. Oh my God, what is with all the fucking white people in this town? Can't we get cultured? Do what? You're an odd one, Mr. Duck. Yeah, I opened it earlier and petted Obama better again just because you were. Oh? Yeah, you're wondering what's in the cow cups, huh? You think you get your part? Did you not get a doggy cone this time, huh? Well, they don't have them here, I don't think. All right. Well, I better let you get back to your life.
All right. Have a good night.
Hey, at least your dog's better looking than me. Do what? Probably, all on my chin. Yep, I get cheap dinners every time, so that money that's on my card will probably actually last a while. Or the Denny's card, I should say. I usually only get a coffee, or I get biscuits and gravy, which is $2.99. So if I get the biscuits and gravy and the coffee, which is 3 something, it ends up being like a little over $6. Not too bad. I tried to kill myself after Natalie was killed in 2017. In January of 2018, before she'd even been dead a month. Those same predators that had made my life a living hell for an entire year before she was killed continued, and they were allowed to continue. Nobody cared. People were too busy screaming for my blood to listen to what I had to say. Fuck all of you. This country is filthy. Anyway, I tried to kill myself by putting a bunch of caffeine pills and a bunch of sleeping pills in some chocolate pudding and eating it. And I've been, well, chocolate makes me sick ever since. I do try different types of chocolate. I do eat Oreos, just not the Oreos themselves usually, just the cream in the middle. It doesn't taste like chocolate, it tastes like the cream in the middle.
Mm. To whoever it is, they gave me that card. Thank you. It doesn't create a safe place for me where I can do the things that I need to do. But it does help me to be in the few places where I am at least halfway decently safe. I know the situation at Starbucks could easily get volatile. Only because I know that the new girl today, the person that she became the moment the boss was gone and she was with the 3 people she was with, she became a very different person. Thinking that laughing at the misfortune of others is an okay thing. You know, I've done that. I don't pretend I haven't. I certainly did that back. That's right, I did it back. I didn't do it for no reason. I didn't do it out of nowhere. And I tried pretty much everything else first. When you remove violence as an answer, you find other answers. The problem is, none of my friends wanted to try the legal route. They just wanted to try the violent route. Or talk about it, rather. Did you help me how I needed, or did you get drunk and call me up and talk about you? What kind of help did you provide? Anyway, I already got the down low on the lady who's a pain in the ass is going to be here tomorrow. She doesn't work tomorrow, but she will be here. Mike doesn't have any problems with me staying here. But for me, it's a matter of my safety. And we discussed it earlier. And of course, he understands why I want to leave at midnight and come back when Starbucks is open instead. So he said he's fine with that. He said just go park wherever you gotta go park, and I guess come back when we're open or when Starbucks is open. We'll be good. I checked on Starbucks last night. I did think that they opened at 6 o'clock in the morning. I was incorrect. They open at 5:30 in the morning. So from midnight, which is, it's probably after midnight, or from 11, I guess, is when they close tonight, not midnight. The folks at Starbucks said that I don't actually have to come in and be a paying customer. There's a lot of these people that were friends of mine after Natalie died, that were friends of mine beforehand because of Starbucks. They were good to me when they worked at Starbucks. And also, I was good to them. And after the Natalie situation, it fucked my life up. People didn't want to take the time to find out what was going on. They were always too busy, always too busy. And that's how abuse went from just being one little white lie that I was being abused over by just a small number of people to a huge number of people abusing me all over time. And the longer it takes for you to come forward about what you know, the longer I have to take the abuse. Do you stop to consider that I'm the one taking the abuse? That you're not taking abuse over this? That you're not living through this? Your life is different. You have loved ones. You haven't been repeatedly forced to move over this. While you tell me that I'm being selfish for asking you to tell the truth, I say you're being selfish because you didn't. You're being selfish because you didn't think about the consequences for others. You just thought about your pride. And because of that, predators like Waylon Lolatai got away with what he's doing to a great many other people who did not fucking deserve it. And neither did I. But did I have any help getting the body cameras? No, I didn't. Did I have help getting adequate housing? A safe environment? No, I didn't. And then there's Dan Faber instigating fucked up situations. Like, he was the money guy. That's what he did. He didn't want to find out the details. He wanted Layla Johnson to do that. Well, Layla Johnson wasn't a real person. It was a fake profile. A.K.A. Missy Johnson, A.K.A. Layla Doonan, D-O-O-N-A-N. A lot of these women that have these infatuations with these death cults and shit like that, and a lot of these web sleuth groups, they don't use their own name when they go into that. Nearly all of them make up fake profiles that they'll get a hold of you and harass you over. Between Alicia Bollinger and Natalie Bollinger, Alicia is the one that should have eaten a bullet, not Natalie. Natalie gave up everything that she ever wanted for her sister. What did her sister ever give up? Nothing. Well, for once, Natalie's the popular one. Good luck beating your sister's suicide. She stole mine. But I didn't matter because nobody would shoot me. I wasn't a pretty girl. Apparently that's what it takes, isn't it? And what are the chances that Joseph Michael Lopez raped the hell out of her before blowing her brains out? I read the report. They're pretty good. Where her bruising and contusions were, well, you know why they had to make a special deal with Joseph Michael Lopez? Because they had my computer. They would have had to allow evidence into the trial that showed the wrongdoing of the investigators in Natalie's case. Detectives Mark Peterson and detectives Mark Peterson and Jai Rogers of Adams County. There's also Detective Erica and her partner, hold on, what was his name? Starts with an H. Fuck it. There's so many fucking cops that I've had to talk to through this, trying to keep all their names straight. And we're not talking about just multiple locations. We're talking about multiple locations in multiple states. Literally from one coast to another. All this shit started with cops not taking their fucking job seriously in Virginia. Rather than actually investigate the situation and do what they should have done, they outright lied to me, fucking dropped me off with absolutely nothing, took everything that I fucking had. How do you call that fucking help? And then you say I'm not trying to get help? No, you're stealing everything from me. And they did. They stole my vehicle after saying that they wouldn't. Dropped me off with nothing. I couldn't even charge my fucking phone. If it hadn't been for a black person who worked at the Food Lion there in Virginia, where it's racist redneck fucking central, I wouldn't have even been able to charge up my phone to call up Alex Furman and Brandon Ratner and Brenda Dickinson and try to ask for help getting the fuck out of there. Meanwhile, the cops broke my vehicle even further. And when I was trying to turn it in, the same thing as always. When I got to try to turn it in by myself, I get the retard treatment. They don't want to do their jobs. There's a big difference between the Boulder police claiming that there's violence in 0.03% of their interactions. And then the fact that literally hundreds upon hundreds of homeless people in Boulder County who have been assaulted have been prevented from turning in the fucking Boulder Police Department, you pieces of shit. And cops treat the homeless like this nationwide. It seems to me there's 3 people watching. Anyone I know? Is it the 2 trolls who try to watch every video so they can go tell my predators I'm telling about them? Kenneth Zarecki. I didn't use his name when I exposed the situation with him. But he retaliated against me because somebody who was aware that he was fucking an underage girl told him about it. That's right, someone in Chapel, Nebraska knew enough about Kenneth Zarecki and him having sex with a 14-year-old girl to be able to warn Kenneth Zarecki that I had told on him in specific. They knew the details inside and out well enough to know that it was Kenneth Zarecki I was talking about, which means they knew that he was fucking an underage girl. And then there might be 1 or 2 of the silent types. The ones go, man, this is messed up, but I can't pull my ears away. There's a lot of wallflowers rooting for me. And that's the problem, is that they're wallflowers. All you wallflowers who just sit there and watch, you have voices. You know all the popular kids in your schools. You also know the ins and outs of the most fucked up shit they've ever done. All you wallflowers who watch my channel, you're a lot like me. You don't understand that why it is that when one of them popular kids that is your friend, you never get invited to go do the fun stuff that they go do with the popular kids, that some of them are probably even your bullies. No, you're the person that those popular kids tell you about their problems. They just dump all their shit on you. They can't tell the other popular girls. Why? Because those other popular girls will use it against them. They tell you because you'll be quiet about it. You're just glad somebody talks to you. And if you're not quiet about it, who's gonna fucking believe you anyway? You're a goddamn wallflower. I get it. Anyway, a lot of the stuff that I'm working on, it's fun for me. It's not fun anymore. I'm just doing it to try to pass the time so that I don't go completely fucking insane from making phone call after phone call, getting nowhere. I make 1,000 phone calls. I get somebody to make maybe one phone call out of every 1,000 with me. And it's usually somebody who is ill-informed because they haven't taken the time to find anything out. Dallas was a witness to at least one situation with Molly. Same thing with the Scudders. And I saw Jared Scudder yesterday in the Fred Meyers. He's the one that sold me the 2 lottery tickets. My beard is itchy. He's pleasant as always. I don't expect you'll ever find the time to help me with my computer stuff. That's because life is what happens while you're busy making plans. All these people who let this slander slide, saying there's nothing I can do. Yes, there is. You can tell the truth. Oh, that won't do any good? Well, that's not what the lawyers had to say, and they've got a lot more experience with this than you do. The help that I asked for was the help that the lawyers told me I needed. When you guys wouldn't do those things, wouldn't even try, wouldn't even hear what's going on. You're too busy telling me that you're too busy. Sean, I can't take the time to make one of these calls and explain that you're telling the truth to them, because I'm too busy arguing with you about why I can't do that, even though I know it's the truth, blah, 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 blah. Like, alright, don't tell me anything that you aren't going to put your name to. Don't tell me anything that you're not going to tell the police. If you're going to give me an excuse why you can't tell the truth, well, that's your excuse. It's not what the cops had to say about the situation. Well, you tell me that you can't do it because your kid is sick, and then you can't do it because you've got a funeral to go to, and then you can't go do anything because you got cancer. And then, of course, 6 years later, do you still have cancer? Why are you not dead yet? Seems to me you told me you got cancer and you got 2 weeks to live, and now you can't tell the truth before you die. Seemed to me Natalie Bollinger had the same problem. You just couldn't tell the truth before she died. I begged for people to kill me first. I wanted to live, but this ain't a life. Being treated like I'm subhuman. Not getting paid a living wage, ever. Being told I just need to work harder. Being told by people who go out and have fun with their friends that I should be fine with not ever doing anything fun. With all of my money going to paying my fucking predators. What the fuck is wrong with you calling yourselves my friends? That's some fucking sick shit that you're pulling there. Now, I have extra issues with trying to enunciate because I don't have any teeth. And then I gotta worry about people's internal politics and their fucking family problems and their family issues. Do they care about mine? No. They're too busy telling me about theirs. But if people's families were really threatened, if their children were really threatened, they should have made an effort to turn it in, especially since it was intimidation against people specifically for trying to help me. Why didn't those people help me to turn it in? It shows that my predators coordinated and worked together to threaten, harass, and intimidate the people who are trying to help me. But those people never came forward. They came forward to me. And then they wanted to be angry when I posted the fact that, yes, I told the truth. And I showed it in their voices. But none of you guys want to look at that. You want to get a hold of me because you feel bad and you want to tell me you're sorry and send me a friend request to be a fake friend. You want to say, oh, well, Sean, I wasn't calling you up and, you know, doing all this stuff to try to help you. I just thought you needed a friend. Well, I do need a friend. I need somebody to do friend and family shit. When you were a disabled and at-risk adult, the only thing that helps is your friends and family helping you and going in with you. Because nothing that you do will be heard, will be seen by the courts, by your public pretenders. None of them will make any goddamn effort unless your friends and family make an effort. And are they? No, they're making every excuse not to. They're going out of their way to lie at me, tell me that they're going to do things, and then weeks, months, and even years later, they still haven't. How many years did it take Caitlin Tatum to finally write something? 2 years, over 2 years. How long did it take her to finally call me up? 6 years. And I don't have her number, so I can't give it to the police. I don't have an address to have her subpoenaed. That's the thing, is that for me to try to get that information, and of course, if I try to get that information, I'll get accused of trying to stalk somebody. Everything was done to prevent me from having justice. And every one of these people who wants to bullshit me and I'm sorry me to fucking death. That's exactly what they're doing. I'm sorrying me to fucking death. I don't need more fake friends. I need a friend or family member to fucking help me put a stop to the abuse. That in specific is the kind of friend that I need. A friend who is not afraid to use their voice and to sign their name to the words that come out of their goddamn mouths. If you're going to tell me you couldn't do something for whatever reason, you need to tell the cops that too. You need to tell the courts that too. Now where the fuck did I put my goddamn shake? Sorry, I'm trying to get my vehicle cleaned up and everything off the dash so that I can actually drive it to another parking lot. So it's taking some doing. I am excited that I got to see Coors tonight. Not a bad shake. Alright, I'm running low on cigarettes. I'm gonna have to smoke out of my tobacco pipe. I know there will be a stressful point at some point where I'll need a fucking cigarette, and smoking off a tobacco pipe isn't gonna work. I definitely need to save one for in the morning. Ah, fuck it. I hate the tobacco pipe. It chokes me to fucking death every goddamn time. just a lot more potent that way. Now, the one person at the Starbucks that doesn't like me, and that one lady who is definitely probably more than likely going to be an issue if there's any significant time there where there's not males there. If she's able to draft it into a fucked up situation like today, she probably will. She'll probably act nice and sweet and innocent and quiet and meek while the boss is there, and then once he's gone, everything's fair game. Now, this is the first day that I've seen her working there, so she might have worked there yesterday. But, I mean, the foulness and the unabashed hatred towards others that came out of her today. You know, I've been in situations as a male worker having to work with females who didn't just do that when it was just females. And obviously that young woman knows that that is not acceptable behavior and should not be tolerated and is definitely against Starbucks policy. Otherwise, she would have been acting like that while the boss was still there instead of waiting until he left. Obviously, there's a popularity thing there where she has this air of superiority, and the other two girls that was working with her today, they went from being the persona they put on to being people who craved and needed this mean person's attention. Needed it. Like, if this person accepted them, then maybe their lives would be whole. When you're a male who works with females who are that unprofessional and want to go from Starbucks being a safe place for people who are different to now you have to worry about Starbucks employees who don't like different people. And you have to deal with the fact that there are other Starbucks employees who, although otherwise nice, aren't going to do anything if that person chooses to become a problem or to bully or be mean, because they feel the need for that person's attention. They might even take part in the bullying and the meanness. And likely back their coworker up, of course. Now with the lady who is I don't think she's the assistant manager. I think she's a shift manager. But with her not liking me, and with her allowing such atrocious behavior out of those young ladies today, in a work environment that is supposed to be promoting of peace and tolerance, so much intolerance, and well, it was probably a full 30 minutes of complete and total intolerance before I started recording. But after that young woman who left that was creating the issues was done with her shift, the issue was done. Those other girls that are working there, they went back to doing things the way they were doing it. Not fighting for this popular girl's attention because she wasn't there to fight for that attention. Or to agree with everything that she said, no matter how fucked up it was. When I hear people have conversations about the mentally ill, let me make sure I got some light on so you can see me put up the quotation. As if people in the United States, 80% of us have been diagnosed with something that can be considered a mental illness. Even depression is considered a mental illness. You can be depressed over all sorts of things. Now, like Marcia Estrada said, mine is situational. It's not a chemical imbalance. It's a fucked up situation that I'm living through. When I said, hey, I can't just keep on taking this abuse, she said, heavens no. Who could? Now, there's a lot of folks at Starbucks who are nice to me. And of course, Mike, tonight, he said he thinks of me and most of the other people who work there, with the exception of one who shall remain nameless. All of them like me. Well, that's because I'm different in person. Who I choose to be in person versus who I have to be to show the truth. They're different. I don't scream unless I have to. And I don't just scream when people are harming me. Those of you who pay attention to my channel, pay attention to my words and go back and look at a video called Jamie Again. That guy pursues Jamie after shoving her, and I got it on video. He pursues her. She's walking away from him. He pursues her and punches her in the back of the head. And all of those people there who wanted to say it's never okay to hit a woman, none of them said a goddamn word. Who did? Me. It's always me. All these people talk about what they do. They're never going to follow through. They're just going to talk about it. All these people who talk about hurting my predators. Are they going to actually hurt my predators? No, they're just going to talk about it. I want their help turning my predators in. They can't do that because they're too busy talking about how they don't have time, but if they were here, they'd shoot that person for me, or they'd beat that person up for me, or some other fucking violent thing. Like, no, if you were here in person, it'd be much better served if you'd look at evidence and help me turn it in. Matter of fact, that's something you can do from a distance even. And I've sent evidence to so many people hoping that they were going to look at it, hoping that they were going to keep their word, and they just didn't. They procrastinated and took their dear sweet fucking time, while I still need to find a family or a friend to help me as a family or a friend would, if they were a real family or friend. So then we got these people who want to extend me a friend invite and not do any of those family or friend things and say they don't know how to help. How would you help if your family or friends came to you and told you about abuse? How would you help them? When you ask me if I've gone to this place or that place, because you're trying to weed those places out. No, they don't need to be weeded out. They need to be called with me. Not for me, not on my behalf, but actually with me. Now my phone is down to 5% battery. Thank goodness I was able to charge up an external battery today. I try to make sure they stay charged up. That way I don't end up with a dead phone that's unusable in an emergency. That phone, for somebody who's autistic, that is our lifeline, because we are prone to being abused. We are easy to abuse because you want to believe that everybody who is called mentally ill is going to be the next Ted Kaczynski or the next Jeffrey Dahmer, especially if they're male. You don't want to pay any attention to the fact that women serial killers have killed far more people. You just want to pretend that female serial killers don't exist because it doesn't fit your narrative. And now I'm worried that my phone is going to die and I'll have to charge it up and try to upload whatever update it wants to do before I'll be able to get back and actually shut off this video if I don't end it now. So That's what I'm gonna do. Good to be ready. Thanks for coming to visit. Stay out of trouble or don't get caught. Remember, you are your brother's keeper, and no victim left behind.